All right, so I have a link to the CDC's write-up in the notes, and you definitely need to check that out, especially the internal links that they also give on the opening page, which is in the notes below the video. But the new rate is 1 in 36 for the 8-year-olds. And basically, if you do the math, that's 2.78% of the 8-year-olds diagnosed with autism. And just to give a little bit of background, this same rate for this group, this cohort, was 1 in 44 in 2018 for those that turned 8 in 2018. And then prior to that, 2 years before that, it was 1 in 54. So the rate moved up, it moved up 10, and then most recently it moved up 8 in 100. So more on that in a little bit. But the split by gender was kind of interesting. 4.3% male and only 1.14% female 8-year-olds diagnosed with autism. So basically that's a little more than 1 in 100 for the girls, and a little more, or a lot more, than 1 in 4 for the boys. Or I'm sorry, 1 in 25. So the rate among boys is still around 4 times the rate for girls, and that's one of the things that hasn't changed in autism, at least since the 80s. Mostly tends to be male, and more on that in a little bit. But in the next video, I wanted to talk a little more broadly about the CDC site. So as I said, the CDC site, definitely click on the link, but also click on the internal links, because each of the 4 of those is worth looking at. Don't pass them by. And then they also give a 4th article on the comorbidities with autism. But one of the things I wanted to point out related to the ADDM sites is that this report, which is one of the links, the Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report for March 24th, specifically of 2023. Table 1 in there gives where they get the participants for the different networked area sites. And although they're named for the states, and people tend to think of it that way, it's not really. It is not really the states, and I'll say more about that in a minute, but it's easy to lose that point when they are named for the 11 states that in which the monitoring sites are located.